Good evening. This is Tia Sanders from Hope Chest Consultations. I hope you are doing well today. This is my weekly check-in. I just want to check in and see if you're living your best life. And so I hope you're using these tips and tools to enhance your mental health and your overall life, because I believe that knowledge is a precious jewel. And if we embrace it, we can live a rich life. And so today I want to speak from the topic of we're all a little crazy. What do I mean by that? People come into therapy and eventually at some point they say, I know you think I'm crazy, or he thinks I'm crazy, or she thinks I'm crazy. And I say, we're all a little crazy. And what do I mean by that? It means that all of us have some area of our lives that we need to look at. Usually people think that they're crazy when they feel overwhelmed by life circumstances and how they're coping or functioning. It feels like life is too much, or I can't handle it, or my thoughts don't make sense to me in a way that they used to. And so I say, yeah, we're all a little crazy. We all have to do some self-exploration. And one of the biggest areas that drives us crazy is people. People are messy. You're messy, I'm messy, we all got a little mess. We all have a little crazy. And what do I mean by that? That relationships require a lot of work, and we are impacted by the relationships that we have. Our first relationship is our family relationship. And there is a theory called family systems, and it looks at how your family operates, and that in every family there is a role, and the role that people adopt has advantages and disadvantages. There is the hero or the perfectionist who does everything well, the straight A student, they get it all together and they're all right. But then they also feel like they always have to be in charge. They feel like they have to be the fixer. And they can never make a mistake, or anything could be wrong, or some kind of way it's going to upset someone. And so they don't want to rock the boat. And then you have the mascot or the comic. They're the life of the party. They're the ones who always has a joke. They're always the ones who make you laugh, the ones who make light of even serious situations. And so, but many times they just use laughter to hide their tears. And then you have the problem child. They're the ones that are defined as the drama king or the drama queen, or the bad child, or dysfunctional, or the one who always has a problem or getting into trouble. And it distracts from what's really happening in the families. And then the advantage is, if you're always a problem child, then you don't have to live up to anyone's expectations. And then finally, one of the areas is the lost child. That's the one who just kind of goes along, goes with the motion, and doesn't do too much trouble, doesn't do too great. They kind of fade into the woodwork and feel like they don't exist. And if you don't draw any attention, then nobody notices you. But then many times you feel invisible. So I encourage you to do a search and look up family systems to explore and see what is your role, and how did your role in the family impact your role as an adult. Because wherever you go, there you are. And so you might want to examine who I am, and is this role still healthy for me? Is it helping me to live my best life? And the second area is our social and interpersonal relationships. They make such a big deal and difference in our lives because we have an innate desire to connect with others. And when that desire or expectation is not met, it really can mess with our psyche and our emotions. And so it's your friendships, it is your intimate relationships, it is your marriage, it is your business relationships. All of these areas you need to really examine and saying, how well am I doing in this area? Because I know people who are married who live lifeless marriages and they are miserable. I know people who are single and they are miserable because they feel rejected and alone. And so somewhere along the way, we have to find a balance of living our best selves and our best lives in the relationships that we have, and making sure that we are embracing and enhancing those relationships. And we need to examine the relationships to see if the relationships that we are in is making us healthy, or is it hurting us. And then the third area that I want to talk very briefly about is your faith-based community. And when I say faith-based, it could be any faith-based community that you're a part of. There is a hashtag that's going around, hashtag church hurt. And church hurt is a very real thing. It's a very real emotion, and it really can have great impact on an individual. And so it's not just a hashtag. Many people have been involved in churches or institutions that have been oppressive and have used religion to oppress them. There is a thing called spiritual abuse, and we really need to be honest and to examine it and to be transparent. Many times people hide behind religions to justify their actions. And so many times we are hurt in the church by those who were supposed to care about us, those who were supposed to be our brothers and sisters. And I don't just mean the Christian church. It could be the Christian church, the Catholic church, the masjid, the synagogue, wherever. You really need to do some examination of the relationships that you're in. And if you've experienced church hurt, you need to be honest with it. Because many times people will walk away from faiths, walk away from the faith-based community. I'm never going to anybody's church. All you Christians are just alike. And you can't project onto an entire population what happened to you in one institution. Or maybe it happened in 2 institutions. But whatever it is, you really just do need to unpack it and examine it. And we, speaking as a Christian, need to do some self-examination of what the church means. What did Jesus mean when he said we were the church? Because the church is supposed to be a hospital for the broken. But I'm going to save that for another topic. And so I just encourage you to look at these areas in your life, whether it's your family relationships, your social and interpersonal and intimate relationships, or even your faith-based community, and say, how healthy are my relationships? Are they driving me crazy? Am I driving other people crazy? Is there something that I can do differently to be healthier and to be a better person in the relationships that I am in? And so my tip would be for today, because we all have experienced some level of hurt and felt pieces of our hearts being broken. I would say if you feel broken today, know that a broken crayon still colors a beautiful picture. So if you are broken, know that you are still beautiful.